Welcome to the Cornered Millennial channel. Millennials are often called the anxious generation. Raised with high expectations and the promise of limitless opportunity, they entered adulthood only to find a world marked by economic instability and rapid technological change. As digital natives, they navigate a landscape of constant connectivity, which brings both opportunity and relentless pressure. Traditional milestones like homeownership and stable careers feel out of reach, replaced by debt and uncertainty. The gap between what they were promised and what they face is a major source of stress and anxiety. Older generations sometimes label them as entitled, missing the invisible burdens they carry. Their mental health challenges are not weakness, but a logical response to unique circumstances. The pressure to perform, online and offline, combined with economic precarity, has created a perfect storm for mental health issues. Depression and anxiety rates have soared, with many millennials feeling hopeless about the future. They are more educated than any generation before, yet face greater financial insecurity, more connected than ever, yet lonelier, more aware of global issues but often powerless to change them. To understand millennials' struggles, we must look beyond stereotypes and examine the forces shaping their world. This story is about the economic, social, and existential pressures fueling a mental health crisis. It's a story that demands empathy and understanding. Student loan debt is one of the heaviest burdens millennials carry. They were told higher education was the key to a good life, so they enrolled in record numbers, just as tuition costs soared. Many graduated with crushing debt, shaping every major life decision. Unlike other debts, student loans are nearly impossible to escape, even in bankruptcy. Monthly payments eat up income, delaying milestones like homeownership and starting a family. The psychological toll is profound, a sense of being trapped, starting life behind, and feeling shame for following the path they were encouraged to take. The anxiety of making payments and fear of default are constant. Previous generations often graduated debt-free. Millennials face a different reality. High debt, stagnant wages, and a tough job market create chronic financial stress. The promise that a degree would guarantee a good job often didn't materialize. Many are overeducated for the jobs they can find, and underpaid for the education they have. This cycle of debt and underemployment is a key driver of millennial anxiety and depression. Millennials face a labor market defined by instability. The era of lifelong careers and pensions is gone, replaced by the gig economy and short-term contracts. Flexibility comes at the cost of security. Many patch together incomes from multiple sources, often without benefits or paid time off. This constant uncertainty makes it hard to plan for the future, fueling persistent anxiety. The pressure to always be on blurs the line between work and life, leading to burnout. Many are underemployed, working jobs that don't match their education. This mismatch breeds frustration and a sense of being let down by the system. The social fabric of the workplace has frayed. Jobs are now transactional, not communities. High turnover and remote work mean fewer lasting relationships at work. This isolation removes a key buffer against stress. For many, work is a source of anxiety, not stability. The lack of supportive professional networks deepens the loneliness epidemic. Millennials are left to face these challenges largely on their own. Millennials are the first to grow up with social media at the center of their lives. Platforms like Facebook and Instagram promised connection, but also brought new pressures. Social media is designed to capture attention, often presenting a curated, unrealistic version of reality. Constant comparison to others' highlight reels breeds feelings of inadequacy and envy. The pressure to curate a perfect online persona is exhausting and disconnects people from their authentic selves. FOMO, fear of missing out, fuels anxiety, while likes and followers become a new social currency. The very tool that promised connection often deepens isolation. Digital interactions can't replace the depth of real-world relationships. Millennials are more connected yet lonelier than ever. Social media is a double-edged sword, amplifying anxiety and depression. Despite constant digital contact, millennials report record levels of loneliness. Traditional, place-based communities have weakened, and frequent moves for work or school make it hard to form lasting bonds. Digital communication lacks the nuance and comfort of face-to-face interaction. The decline of stable jobs means fewer daily social connections. Long hours and financial strain leave little time or money for socializing. The result is a social landscape that feels transient and isolating. Chronic loneliness isn't just sadness, It's a serious public health issue linked to depression, anxiety, and even physical illness. For millennials, loneliness magnifies the weight of other pressures. The lack of a strong support system makes debt, job insecurity, and existential dread feel even heavier. The epidemic of loneliness is a key piece of the millennial mental health crisis. Meaningful, in-person connection is harder to find but more important than ever. The digital age has made true belonging elusive. Millennials carry a deep sense of existential dread, shaped by the climate crisis and global instability. They grew up with constant warnings about environmental catastrophe, making eco-anxiety a daily reality. This fear influences major life choices, like whether to have children. News of wildfires, extreme weather, and political inaction fuels helplessness and grief. Millennials feel they've inherited crises they didn't create with little power to fix them. Their formative years were marked by terrorism, war, financial collapse, and political polarization. Trust in institutions has eroded, and the world feels unpredictable. The old narrative of progress rings hollow. The future seems fraught with peril. This existential anxiety adds another layer to their mental health struggles. Traditional markers of adulthood, stable job, homeownership, marriage, are increasingly out of reach for millennials. Economic realities have pushed these milestones further away, forcing a redefinition of success. Many feel stuck in a prolonged adolescence, renting with roommates or delaying marriage and children. Comparing themselves to previous generations can breed self-doubt and anxiety. In response, millennials are redefining what it means to live a meaningful life. Experiences, personal growth, and work-life balance often matter more than possessions. New forms of family and community are emerging, not based on tradition. Activism, creativity, and strong friendships are sources of meaning. This isn't a rejection of adulthood, but an adaptation to new realities. Redefining success is liberating, but also unsettling. There's no clear map. Pressure from older generations and internal conflict add to the stress. Millennials are pioneers of a new adulthood, navigating uncertainty with creativity. The search for authenticity is both a challenge and a source of hope. The millennial story is often framed by struggle, debt, job insecurity, digital pressure, and existential threats. But to focus only on hardship is to miss their remarkable resilience. Millennials have adapted, destigmatized mental health, and used digital tools to build new communities and drive social change. They're redefining success, prioritizing balance, ethics, and experiences over material wealth. Their response to adversity is creative, not defeatist. They're not just surviving. They're working to build a more equitable, sustainable future. Empathy and understanding from all generations are essential. Recognizing the systemic roots of their challenges is key. Millennials are not a lost generation, they're forging a new path under difficult circumstances. Supporting their efforts can help create a more hopeful, compassionate world.